everyone, my name is Quant and welcome back to some more the mighty quest for epic loot. We will be taking a look at the Mage at a slightly higher level. I'm level 12, and if you don't know, level 12 is when you have unlocked all abilities, not ranks but the ability itself. And I want to do this with all different classes, but I'm gonna start off with Mage because it's so big difference when you hit level 12 and got access to all abilities. You can really make the build you want, and you can kind of now know how the well, champion character guy plays. I don't know what you are supposed to call them, but anyways. And I also added the webcam. When I'm playing games that I can record with XSplit, I'm gonna use the webcam because I don't really necessarily see the super big reason for me to have a webcam during these kind of videos. It might just get in the way, but some people like to be able to see my face and kind of know who I am. It makes them feel like they're closer to me, and in a certain sense it makes it feel like I'm closer to you guys, that you actually see my face and you know who I am. It feels better at a weird point. But when I play like League of Legends and such, I will not be able to have a face cam, mainly because I am recording that with fraps, and then I need to get a second software or something that records my webcam over it, and my computer can't really handle that right now. I will be able to do it as soon as I upgrade my computer and get an extra hard drive so I can save up some space, because when I play games that requires fraps, it's really hard because it takes up too much space and I don't have the space. I need an external hard drive. Gonna get that quite soon though. But anyways, jumping here to the Mage, we got all abilities here. I'm gonna go through them one on one, so you kinda know what's in them. I'm not gonna show you every single ability, and if they are interesting I'm gonna talk about them a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna show you talk about all spells here, then I'm gonna show you my build and my thought about my build really. Okay, so first we got Spontaneous Combustion, fire spells. The first is a Flame Burst, which is a rather small cone, really fast animation, just fire and then sets them ablaze. It's really spammable, but in my opinion it got a little too short range to be able to use it safely, and to utilize this damage you have to stop every 0.6 second and use the spell, and you can't really do that because there's so much things to avoid now. When you hit level 12 and such, attacking enemy castle actually becomes really hard. There are some champions that are really OP. There are some, well, not champions, some units, the defense units that are really OP. There are some defense units that pretty much one-shot you if you don't avoid their attacks. So you can't really stand there and spam spells every single time. And attack speed, you pretty much just utilize when you are able to use the attack speed. If you can't use this spell as often as it can, then it doesn't really work that well. So Flame Burst, a nice AoE damage, short range, cone and everything, but when it starts to get up to a higher level, I don't really think it's that necessarily. And many people, well, almost all people, don't use small units in their defense anymore, so any kind of AoE is pretty much waste. It's good to have some kind of AoE for like Dr. Skull or something like that that summons units, but not a whole lot of AoE is needed. Second ability is Fireball. Goes down a meteorite. After a short delay it hits the ground and it deals loads of single target damage. You can hit multiple targets with it, but it's really hard. But you can combine it with another spell that the Mage got that pulls everything in, and you can hit all of them. That's actually a really cool combination, and I use that quite a bit, but I changed that sense and I will explain why in a bit. But it's really cool. It got quite a short cooldown, very decent cooldown, because you kind of like use it and you run around, dodge attacks, and you can use it again. Sadly the animation for it is slightly too long, so if you got someone chasing you right behind you, you can't use the spell and then just run away. You will take a hit. Then we got the Conflagration, which is kind of an underpowered spell all in all. he creates an area for 7 seconds that deals 34 magic damage per second. It's rather big area, and the animation is rather fast. It's not super long, but the cooldown for this is so long, and the enemy can just run out of it. As the mage, at least before, you didn't have any kind of crowd control to keep them in there, but now you do. But you also got better AoE spells, in my opinion, that just does the trick more. And that spell is Inferno. I'm gonna warn you, the tooltip here is wrong. It says stream concentrated fire to... well, it says stream concentrated fire at all enemies in front of you, dealing 21 magic damage per second. That's where the tooltip is wrong. It doesn't deal 21 magic damage per second. It actually deals that 21 magic damage like 4 or 5 times per second. So the tooltip is wrong. It deals way more damage than you think. But this is pretty much the only ability also that kinda drains your mana. So if you use this spell a lot, you will actually drain your mana empty. And the good thing about this spell is that it got no starting animation pretty much. You can use it right away and you can interrupt it right away, and that's the beauty of it. It doesn't take any time to charge up and everything. If you got a brief window to attack them, you can use this, and it's really good, both single target hitting and AoE. The stream is a little thin, so it's kinda hard to hit multiple targets. Be right back real quick. And I'm back. Very sorry for that. I got a phone call that I had to take. Where we left off. I'm pretty sure I talked about this pretty much all through. It's basically a stream of fire. Really good, and that's one of the spells I'm using right now, mainly because it got pretty much no animation. You can use it whenever you want. You can interrupt it whenever you want. Moving on, we got electric induction. Starting, we got the storm armor, and this is pretty much what you had to have during the time you were leveling, because the mage had no kind of control over your enemies. You had no stuns, no snares pretty much. The only snare you had was this, and there's a drain, channeling, so you couldn't like snare them and run away. So you had nothing to really like get a distance between yourself and the units. So this was the pretty much only thing you had. Increased your armor by 130, it depends on your gear I believe, and 82 magic resist. And every time they attack you, he reflects some damage. So that's not the main part, but the armor magic resist, so you were able to pretty much tank through the bigger targets. That's kind of what you had to do. Tank through them and use potions through the bigger targets. And that's a little sad, because the mage is a ton of fun to play, but pretty much all the spells that are really useful you get in the later stage of the game. Well, later, like level 11 and 12, like the 2-second spell. No, not the 2-second spells, I'm lying, because this is pretty much one of your first lifesaver at level 9. At level 9 you start becoming like okay. But anyways, it's just increased armor magic resist and reflects on damage, but mainly the armor magic resist, so you were able to tank them through. The chain lightning, quite self-explanatory. Deals damage and it bounces every target. Like it says, getting weaker as it bounced 4 targets. So the first target takes most damage and then it bounces off. And it deals quite a bit of good damage actually, and it's on a 2-second cooldown. The animation is okay as well. And that's kinda like the main thing about this game actually. The longer animation the spells got, the more worthless they become very quickly. Because of the one-shot factors, that there are champions that pretty much one-shot you. Not champions, units, sorry, once again. And these pretty much as all electric spells, well, all electric spells got this. As you use the ability, they become vulnerable to magic damage. And then we got the electric charge. This was one of the first abilities that I was like, okay, this is a good thing that the mage really need. And it's a small charge. Phases through enemies. Sadly, it's not the fastest charge. It's not like the archer's roll. But you charge away and you make them vulnerable to magic if you phase through them. And like all electric spells, got that burnable to magic damage. Really good to have. Decent cooldown, 5 seconds. It's not like I said, like the archer. The archer got 2 seconds. His roll and rolls way faster. He also gets like extra block chance or armor or whatever while rolling. So even if he gets hit by rolling when he's rolling, he doesn't take any damage whatsoever, pretty much. And so this is slightly worse, but it's okay. I mean, the archer is kind of supposed to be like very mobile and such. And then we got Thunderclap. This is one of the first really good lifesaver spells. I use this in my build, and I don't really understand the first sentence. Act as a lightning rod. I pretty much think that you raise your staff and it gets lightning on top of it, like a lightning rod. But yeah, basically an AoE that stuns all damage and deals magic damage per second to them. So it deals quite a bit of damage. It's not a whole lot, but the thing is that they get stunned for an entire 6 seconds, and it's an AoE. Sadly, it got quite a bit of animation. So if you use this in the middle of a group, you will get hit once or twice. And as all electric spells, they become vulnerable to magic damage. But one really good lifesaver, AoE stun, 6 second stun, and a 15-second cooldown. Very okay. Rather long cooldown, but really okay for the 6 second stun. It's a must-have in pretty much every single build. I use this a lot. Then we go to Unholy Rendition. Death Grip. Cone channeling, it's rather long. It's not as wide as take Flame Burst, for example, but it's way longer. It deals magic damage per second, and this actually deals per second. It doesn't deal nearly as much damage as this one. And it also heals yourself. And it's pretty much the same as Inferno. It doesn't have a super long cast animation. You can pretty much interrupt it whenever you want, so it's actually quite good, but the damage is too low, and it's not as long, because this one got a really long range actually. This one does not. Moving on, we got Nightmare Cage. This is one ability that I feel like, nah, I don't know. I think like it could be useful, but since you only got 4 spells, no. If you had like space for 5 or 6 spells, then I think I could use this. And pretty much traps one single enemy, stunning them for 5 seconds, but you cannot attack them either, and a 15-second cooldown. It's really good if you use it on a bigger target that are really scary and such, but the fact that you only got 4 spells makes it so you can't really use it, because it's a pure control, and you pretty much need to have Thunderclap and Vortex Rift. I'm going to talk about it in a second anyways, so I don't feel like Nightmare Cage really fills in a build. I'm pretty sure you can, but I don't particularly like it. Moving on, we got Vortex Rift. This is a really good ability. It pulls all targets towards your cursor, and it got a really long range. Sadly, you don't know exactly kind of range, but it got a really long range, and it's really good. Combining this with the fireball is amazing. Use the fireball and then right away use the Vortex Rift. They're gonna grab in, and right as they all meet in the middle, it's gonna get a meteor in their head. It's loads of damage. As you can see, 102 and 136. It's loads of damage. A really fun combination to use as well. Got a 12-second cooldown, and what it doesn't say in the spell is that it actually stuns them. It's only for a brief moment, like 1.5 seconds, I believe. But it's a stun nonetheless, and you can kind of like grab them back quite a bit if you want to. Last ability is Death Bolt. This got a long cast animation. I'm just gonna say that first. It got a long cast animation, but it deals super loads of damage, and it's totally unavoidable, and it's not a skill shot. So if you shoot it in the middle of a group, you're gonna hit the one you're actually targeting. So if you wanna target out a Dr. Doom or something, not Dr. Doom, Dr. Skull or something, you can really do that with this spell. It's really good for that. And also you get healed back 255. It's not super lots, but it's actually quite good, and in my opinion it actually makes it okay for the cast animation, because unless it's an ability that really one-shot you, a unit that one-shot you, you pretty much get all HP back that they can deal to you during the cast animation. It got quite a bit of cooldown, but it's a really good spell. And my build here is simply the Vortex Rift, the Thunderclap, the Death Bolt, and the Inferno. Using the Vortex Rift together with Inferno is insane, because the Vortex pulls them all in together. The Inferno is rather thin, like I said, but it will still hit them all off the Vortex, mainly because, yeah, they all get clumped up together so nicely. Thunderclap, self-explanatory, long stun AoE, and really good. And then I use the Death Bolt mainly for single out the targets and for a little more boss damage, because it's not a whole lot of single target damage otherwise. So with that, I'm gonna show my show it in action, the build. I'm not gonna use a pumpkin head right now. Let's see, we're gonna take a level 12 castle. We can take this one. This is actually a very high defense rating. It's higher than mine. The castle is shielded. This one is not. So I'm actually gonna take this. It's 149. It will have to do. If I can choose to attack a non-shielded versus a shielded, I'm gonna attack the non-shielded. And you can see the cast animation started right away, and I can interrupt it right away. I love that. Walking in here, let's see what we got. And the stuff I'm using is a slow moving one. Not really for any reasons, because I'm not really using the spell a lot. And here you can see I got a Doctor Skull there. I'm gonna charge up that spell. Boom. Deals loads of damage. Now I don't want these in my face, so I'm gonna just burn them down as much as I can. Pull them all in and just try and kill as much as possible. And you can see combination with a Thunderclap and the Vortex Rift pretty much makes a single target unit, well, a single unit, able to not hit you. So, and it makes me able to just kill this rather easy. And you can see it deals more damage than it says. It doesn't do the 21 per second. It deals that way faster, as you can see. Oh, I didn't check what enemy was in behind. Gonna pull them all together so I can stun them, and then I'm gonna like hurt them as much as possible. Gonna let him do that, and he actually ran away. Here we go. He actually is enraged from the puppy, which is annoying. Grab him together, and let's kill him. And once again we got a really annoying. You cannot use the number 3 here through the walls. Pull them all together, stunning them, and just go to town. You can see it deals quite a bit of damage. It actually deals good single target damage as well. That's the nicest thing also, that it got no animation whatsoever. Come on. I'm gonna make a run for it down here. Pull them all together, stunning them, and just deal loads of damage. I wanna get some kill as well, so I can't hit with that. I don't like the archer, so I'm gonna use my number 3 on him right away and actually see if he one-shots him. I don't think it will, but it will deal loads of damage. It actually did one shot. Pulling them all together. I meant to go north, actually. And there you can actually see, I actually ran out of mana. I'm gonna use number 3 on that one, just to kill me up. And you can see the slow moving of this is insane. Here we go. Boom. Dealing loads of damage, grabbing that together. You can see I can so easily hit multiple targets when I pull them all together like that. Running out of mana, you kinda have to cat around for a bit and then just start spamming it once again. And this is the build I really feel works the most, because it got good single target, good control, and nothing really takes time to do. And that's the main thing. I don't like the thing that reaches. Oh, I forgot that stun. I'm gonna be stunned for like ages. Stunning them. Trying to kill the Hunger Bot at least, and I got it. Now it's no problem really, because I can pretty much heal myself up the damage it deals. I don't want to tank that, but other than that I can tank pretty much anything. Using that for 3 stun, gonna get out in the way because it's gonna use the tail. There we go. Now you can actually see that I didn't use, I think I used like 1 potion or something like that. The only thing is that now towards the later stage of the game, like level 12 here, it is definitely gonna take longer time for you to clear dungeons, because you have to focus so much on control rather than on damage output, because this is not the most damage output whatsoever, but I need to control, otherwise I'm gonna die. Yeah, that's gonna be that for this video. I don't want to make it too long, but I at least want to show you guys how it is played like at level 12 and my building, my thought about the build. And right now I don't think I'm gonna change the build. The only thing I think about changing is the Death Bolt to the Electric Charge, but I don't think I really need that, because the Death Bolt deals so much damage, it's really good for sniping out units, and it heals you, so the long animation is actually like okay anyways, and it passes through units and everything, so the one you target, the one you hit. And because other than that, this is my only real damage output. These are long column spells, but this is the only one that I can use pretty much whenever I want. And single target wise, it's not that good. It's okay, but not compared to this one. Of course this one is more single target damage than that one, since this one got a 14-second cooldown, but you understand what I mean. Really fun to have that. But that's gonna be that for that video, and thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe and leave a like, of course, and I will see you guys next time.